My last vlog on this channel was in the great state of Wisconsin. This marked the end of a 2-week-long trip across the Midwest, where I spent a whole day flipping rocks and finding amazing wildlife. The very next day, first thing in the morning, I arrived at Midway International Airport. But I wasn't going back to Arizona. Of course, you couldn't start off a vlog without finding a few ant queens. Tetramorium immigrants had a small flight at the airport. But anyways, no, I wasn't going back to Arizona at all. I was flying to Miami, Florida. My family is taking me on a cruise, and I'm going to take the opportunity to go anting on some Caribbean islands. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then you've clicked on the right video. After spending a night in the Miami hotel, we were on our way. I was waving goodbye to the city off the back deck of the boat. Our first stop, Dominican Republic. Now guys, I was really excited for this one. The Dominican Republic has amazing ants. I was planning on taking a cable car up to the top of a rainforest mountain. Unfortunately, that one day that we showed up, the cable car was out of service. And me, in all of my genius, had no backup plan. So, I went back to the boat. Stop 1 was a fail. That said, it wasn't totally game over. This cruise was making 4 total stops, so I still had plenty of opportunity to find some cool wildlife. So after spending a day on the boat, we were leaving the Dominican Republic and heading to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. I've actually gone anting here before, all the way back in December of 2021. But I was still excited to see some stuff again. After all, when you're in the tropics, you never know what you're gonna find. So finally, after all this time, I've arrived on land, and I'm currently leaving the beach that we arrived at to look for a trailhead, which theoretically is around here somewhere. The drive-in looked really good. Looks like we'll be able to find some good stuff here, so let's just kind of get to it, you know? Let's find this freaking trailhead. I'm ready to get out there. Well, that's a good sign, and I mean that as literally as possible. So now that we've arrived to the nature trail, I'm not worried about all that. I'm pretty capable. It's time to just start looking for bugs. So the trail ended up being a little flooded, so I just had to bushwhack through all this. And all these plants are spiky, by the way. Like, all this stuff has thorns. But I managed to get out pretty unscathed. And now we get to ascend the mountain. So let's hope that this is good, because that kind of sucked. It's not happening. It's really mosquito-y. I'm hoping maybe as I get further away from that swampy area, mosquitoes will simmer down a little bit. Oh, what is that? Oh, Anochetis. Yo. I was not expecting to see these guys at all. But boy, am I glad to. I really like them. That is super cool. False trap giants. And swarmed by mosquitoes here too. This is crazy. Let's see what's under this, if I can move it. Oh yeah. Tons of termites. Anyone else? Some more Anochetis, it looks like. Good locality for those, it seems. This looks like it'll be interesting. Oh my gosh. Ginormous Solenopsis colony. With queenolates. Wow.
Wow, 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 wow. That is so cool. I'm absolutely dripping in sweat, getting swarmed by mosquitoes. And there's absolutely nothing else I'd rather be doing in this moment. I'm having so much fun. Check this out. That is a Sipho colony. I think it's probably just like Ramosis or Minutus, but still pretty cool. This is one of 2 genera of fungus-growing ants here in the Virgin Islands. The other being Mycetomularius, but I really doubt we'll see those. Still is pretty cool. Let me get this tea out, because it actually looks really interesting. Wow, that's a pretty tarantula. Wow, 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 wow. Look at that tarantula. I had no idea the Virgin Islands had tarantulas like this. Wow, 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 wow. What a pretty spider. See if I can get him to open up a little bit. Jeez, that thing is cool. Oh, mosquito flying at my nose. Oh, hey. I was filming some B-roll. There's a big millipede on the side of this wall. Accidental. That's pretty cool. I like that. Anyways. Check this out, guys. I have to be really careful not to scare her. But there is a tailless whip scorpion covered in baby tailless whip scorpions. Oh my gosh. Try to stabilize this a little better. Mama Amblypyge. Wow, and she's staying so still for me. I can't get enough of this. Here's a different tarantula, a Holothele species. It's very shy and it's very small. I'm a little surprised that it already has its adult coloration because Lil Bro is teeny tiny. He's also gone. Jeez, that was fast. So this is very interesting. This is a different species of fungus grower. But there's no way, I don't think this is Mycetomularius. I think I was horribly mistaken. And that there are in fact more than just Sipho and Myceto. And there's multiple colonies here. There's this one. And then another one right up here. This is really awesome. That is like I don't even know. This is definitely something very interesting. Very, very interesting. And guys, there's a ton of those colonies right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, 7. All in this little section of the trail. There's tons of them.
After a while, I reached the end of the trail and was greeted with a lovely overlook of the bay. Now, in all my vast intelligence, I forgot to bring water, so I was getting rather dehydrated and decided to turn around. That doesn't mean I was done finding stuff, though.
Found a roach. I've actually seen a couple of these guys, but they're really fast and they blend in with the leaf litter. But this guy was not fast enough. But luckily for him, I don't want to eat him. Goodbye. Look at this. Big old hermit crab. That is pretty cool. I'll let little bro go on his way. I really did not think that this would be Mycetomularius, this nest entrance, but it totally is. That is awesome. I've been nailing it with fungus growers. Oh, I've been wanting to see this species for so long, and they are awesome. They're huge and pretty. Let me try to get some better close-ups of those workers, because man, that is awesome.
After a while, I finished my way back to the beach and got a couple water bottles from the beach bar. Still, while I was waiting for a taxi back to the cruise port, I decided to look around just a little bit more.
Check out this big Fidoli down here on the beach. I'm sure you got a glimpse of that major. I really hope that they pop one back out again, because they are freaking cool looking. I don't know exactly what species of Fidoli they are. I probably should know. They seem pretty distinct. But man, they're cool. Look at that. That is a cool ant species. Normally you don't see anything cool down here by the beach. It's all invasives, and I mean, I guess this could be invasive, but hey, it's a cool one. Very, very, very cool. Well, I'm getting back on the boat, this one. It was fun. I think I might be the only person on the entire boat that had fun doing what I was doing, but it's just how it is sometimes, and I'd definitely do it again, so pretty great.
Pretty great it was. Just a few short hours hiking through the rainforest of St. Thomas, I found 5 new ant species, all of which were really cool. 2 fungus growers, 2 trapjaw ants, and an awesome Fidoli species, all of which I'd never seen before. Of those 5 species, Mycetomularius jamaicensis was by far the most special. That was one that I was really targeting in the Dominican Republic, and since that leg of the trip didn't work out, I wasn't really sure I was going to see them. They're much more common in the Dominican Republic than they are in the Virgin Islands, so the fact that I got to see them was amazing. They are very cool ants. Still, my time on St. Thomas was up, and it was time to move on to the next place. Our third stop was Tortola of the British Virgin Islands, which is right next door to the US Virgin Islands. Considering this and a few other factors, I actually didn't go anting, but I've still got some stuff to show you. I went snorkeling, and I got some pretty awesome videos. Just check it out. Now, I know you guys probably aren't here for fish videos, so I'll spare you from too much of it, but you gotta admit, colorful tropical fish, can't really go wrong. Hey, you still with me? That was pretty relaxing, I know, but we've got ants to find. After a nice morning snorkeling, we departed from the British Virgin Islands and we're off to our last stop. We'd end off the trip in a small island in the Bahamas known as Great Stirrup Cay. Now, this is a very touristy island that's actually owned by the cruise line. Needless to say, they didn't really want me getting out into habitat. They wanted me to do boring things like sit around at the beach. Well, sucks to be them. I'm gonna get out into habitat, whether they like it or not.
I'm having crazy luck with tarantulas this trip. I was not expecting to see something like this on this tiny little developed island. But look at that. That is a big, beautiful tarantula. No idea what kind. I didn't even know there were tarantulas here. But the thing is huge. I mean, typical, adult tarantula sized. So cool. We have a Brachymyrmex queen digging a founding chamber, which is pretty funny. Have been seeing a lot of these here, so I'm not too surprised. And in fact, not really at all surprised, but hey, Pretty cool. Looks like all the crappy invasive species are gearing up for nuptial flights. This big Nylanderia colony has no shortage of elates. That might have been an understatement. The very next rock is just tons of them under there. They've even got a nice brood pile. Check out this Invicta mound. These idiots made a ginormous colony with chambers under a leaf. They have another mound over there that I'm not gonna mess with, but yeah, gotta love Invicta, huh? Another massive Invicta mound. Check that out. I'd love to find some native species, but it's always fun to mess with some invasives. Look at that. This is why fire ants are so notorious. Imagine accidentally stepping in that. Would not be fun at all. Well, keeping with the theme of Invicta and crappy invasive ants having their nuptial flights, there are Invicta swarming this rock, releasing all sorts of elates. As horrible as these ants are, this is very cool. A very, very cool display from them.
So while I had my fun messing around with invasive ant species close to the beach and in the middle of all the development, I got a little bored, and I decided that all of those keep out, no entry signs, well, those are just signs. They can't stop me. What are they gonna do, call the cops? So after hopping a little fence and sneaking around, we were officially out of bounds. This was gonna get interesting.
So even though I'm still only finding non-native ant species down here, this is a lot of fun. And honestly, you know, I'm a paying customer of this cruise line. I really don't support the idea that some of their island is off limits. I mean, like, I understand guest or like employee areas and whatnot, but dude, this is like the whole island. Like 60% of the island is off limits, and that's the 60% I want to be on, because that's where nothing is. So, oh, this is interesting. Here's something new, a cute little Fidoli colony. I'm not sure what these are, but I actually really like them. They're very cool looking. It's probably just some, you know, navigans or some crappy thing, but hey, they look pretty cool. Oh, they have a male. They have one male.
After a while of snooping around behind the scenes and not finding too much interesting, I did manage to come across some Sipho-Myrmex minutus. Now, while this is most likely the same species of Sipho-Myrmex that I found on St. Thomas, you'll never, ever hear me complaining about finding a fungus grower. That is for sure.
Finally, another cool something. Some Adonomachus. Look at all those cocoons. And their spiky larvae. About time. I was actually wondering if this island would have them, so question answered, I suppose. So this little spot that I found is really nice. Problem is, I don't think I'm allowed to be here. So let's hope that doesn't cause any problems. Pretty unexpected one here. It's a Camponotus. Probably Zonatus, but I'll figure out for sure later. Still, that's pretty sick. Was not expecting a Camponotus here. Check this flip out. big termite colony. And some more of those Camponotus. And those are definitely not Zonatus. That is something far cooler. Jeez. I mean, or if it is Zonatus, it's some really cool morph. I guess I shouldn't speak in absolutes, but whatever those Camponotus are, they're very interesting. We have another unexpected, a scorpion. Not too much to say other than he's tiny, but I really wasn't expecting a scorpion. So that's quite cool. I like scorpions. Hey, we have some Nasut termites. Nasuta probably. And hey, I'm pretty happy about that. I love those guys. Cone-headed dorks. I'm really glad that I found this habitat, but I think I'm running out of time. So I gotta get my butt in gear and find some more cool stuff before I run out of time on this island. Because that won't be good. Well, this is not great. There's a nice looking clearing, except I am very visible to the zip lines. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get across here without getting yelled at. The barrier is down though, so I don't know, maybe I could just play stupid. Oh, I thought I was allowed to be back here. Change of plans. That was a terrible idea. There was a car passing by there. I don't trust that one bit. Not at freaking all. So maybe I'll just bum off into this jungle. I mean, what could go wrong, right? Oh my gosh, guys. It's a freaking family of Amblypygi. Adult. Oh my gosh, it's the little babies. Well, I don't know if that's an adult, but it's a lot bigger. And it's got those red pedipalps. So it's likely different than the one that I saw in St. Thomas. Wow, that's cool. I did not expect there to be freaking Amblypygi here. How cool is that? Let's flip some more freaking rocks, man. This Camponotus might be a Myrmothrix. Whatever they are so cool. Ridiculously cool. I'm so glad I managed to see these. They're awesome. I found a bit more of the nest. This is nuts. Check out those majors. So cool. So with that, I am regrettably out of time. But I didn't get caught trespassing over this here impenetrable barrier. So that's nice. You know, can't complain about not getting caught trespassing. And I'm gonna make my way back to the boat. So that's probably gonna be just about every ant in this video. Don't go anywhere yet. There's still some fun to be had, but you know, you can probably tell we're getting toward the end of it all. So yeah.
And well, that was in fact it. But, well, did you really think that I was going to fly to Miami, get on a boat, get back to Miami, and then immediately fly home? Do you know me? Nah, this adventure isn't nearly over yet. In the next video, I'll be traveling into the Florida Everglades for a week to try and find invasive Burmese pythons. If that sounds interesting, then you definitely need to get subscribed. You should also definitely check out my Discord server. The link's in the description. I'll be posting sneak peeks for that and all future videos. But anyway, that's about it for this one. Thank you so very much for watching.